Hello and welcome. I hope you had an amazing new year celebrating it in a COVID safe way with friends and family. Now, as our first video of the year, I wanted to talk about goals because, of course, with any new year comes resolutions, right? Everybody talks about it. Everybody wants to think about what is this new year going to hold. And sadly, we made all of these huge plans for 2020 and then it ended up being a bust. And it's been quite the roller coaster since COVID has hit, and it's been challenging. But I know that even though COVID's still here, things are still different, we can still make changes and set goals / resolutions, whatever you want to call them. We can set these brand new intentions for a year and be able to achieve them. Now, I know that it can be challenging thinking about doing anything new and just feeling like you're going to burn out. You can't make it. I understand. Absolutely. I've been there. But what I want to do is I want to help you through this. And now I have 3 steps that are going to help you be able to create these goals that are actually going to pull you through the full year with being able to accomplish your goals and not struggling the whole time to get there. Sound good? Now, before we hop in, I want to share a fun fact with you. Those that make resolutions, which is most people it seems like, right? In less than 30 days, there's less than 25% of people actually still working on those resolutions. Yeah, and then of those 25% who are actually still working on it, only 8% actually end up making it to the end of the year and finishing off those resolutions and accomplishing those goals. Sounds pretty grim, right? But the thing about it is becoming a part of that 8% isn't impossible. It really isn't. It comes down to just doing a few simple things. Now, I look to a scripture actually to find these 3 things that are really going to help us during this year. In Proverbs 21, verse 5, it says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty." Now, of course, this scripture seems like it's just talking about money, right? It's talking about life, that if you plan things out and you're diligent, you are going to have abundance. True. That may happen in every area of your life, not just financially, but also in your career, in your finances, in your exercise and health, and all these different areas. If you make plans and you diligently carry them out, you will definitely have abundance. But if you are just haphazardly going about your day and your week and your month and your year, you're not going to achieve great things. And ultimately, it's going to lead to a type of poverty in each of those areas that we talked about. So my first tip from this would be to start small. That really, when you think about diligence, you don't think about accomplishing this huge, moving this giant boulder type of task. You think of something that you could do every day, you can show up and you can complete it. So that means you have to start with something small, which most people who start resolutions don't actually do. They decide, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. And they say, okay, that means I'm not touching another piece of candy, another cookie, cake, pie, anything sweet, basically another piece of sugar. It's never going to happen. I'm done. And that's why they give up about, the 8th, if they make it that far, that it's too radical of a change, that you need to start small. And so if that means being more intentional with your eating, that means, okay, maybe I'm going to have less of those sweets and I'm going to add more veggies. Simple. It doesn't mean you have to radically change everything you do. It's just taking a step in that direction that's going to lead you to the result that you want, right? So small, simple things. As you're creating your goals, you can have these huge, they always talk about big, hairy, and audacious goals. You can have these huge things that scare you. But if you break them down into bite-sized chunks, things that you can do pretty easily on a daily basis, that's when you're going to be able to accomplish your goals easily. Now, another fun fact is that, did you know that only 3% of people actually write down their goals? Shocking, I know. But if you just take the time to write down your goals, you are already ahead of the game. You're in the top 3% of people who are actually finishing this. And of those people, about 1% of people actually accomplish them. which is amazing. So if you think about it, you're already in the top 3%. And then you actually are following these things out because you have small steps that you're able to complete each and every day. You are going to be part of that top 1% of people who actually accomplish their goals, who actually finish whatever resolutions, whatever they put their mind to throughout the year. So this is exciting even for me, thinking about my goals and where I want to go as well. Now, the next thing that we want to think about is making sure you have a big why. Because when you have any kind of change is hard. Like, let's face it, it's not easy. It's not something that we all are just excited to do. And change is challenging. It means going against what our body feels like doing and what feels right, and doing what we intentionally need to do. Now, in order to do that, we need to have a very strong reason why we are going to make the decision to step out of our comfort zone, to step out of the place that is easy, that is simple, that we can conveniently do each and every day. With that reason, it has to be something that's more than just aesthetic, or it's more than just a showy reason for accomplishing a goal. Like, I want to be able to lose 20 pounds so I can look great in this dress, or so I can do this. Those aren't bad reasons, but those aren't the reasons that are going to carry you through the challenging times when you don't want to exercise, or you don't want to eat the best you can for your body. Whatever it is, you don't want to have these flimsy reasons why you're doing things. You want to do things in a way that's going to be able to impact not only your life, but the lives of those around you, because those reasons are the ones that keep you going. If you think financially, I want to pay off my debt so now I can start giving to this amazing company that I know, and they actually help families who are in need. They provide them food or housing or whatever it is. If you give a donation to a company like that, that's a bigger motivator than, well, I just want to not have debt, or I just want to not spend as much. Whatever the goal is, it makes you feel something, because you clearly care about people and you want to impact people. So you're not just going to think about your own life, you're going to think about those people. And you think, oh man, if I'm spending this $100 that I don't really need to be spending, that's $100 less that's going to this company that I want to give to. So those are the things that you want to start thinking about. What is the why, the reason behind what you're doing that's going to carry you through on those tough days, on those dark days. Now, the last thing that we realize from this scripture is that we have to make plans, and plans aren't usually just something that you just kind of haphazardly throw together. You think about it, you are intentional about it, and then you're tracking it. You're figuring out what you're actually doing, right? A plan isn't just a one-time thing. Just like when they make blueprints for a building, it's not like, yeah, we had an idea for it, now we're just freehanding it. We're hoping it comes together. No, you use the blueprint all throughout every single process. The process of creating the foundation, the process of then putting up the scaffolding and all that. I'm not a construction person, I don't know, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? The picture I'm trying to paint, that every single step really is reliant on that blueprint. And so you're doing the same in your life. What is your blueprint? That you need to be creating things that, remember how we talked about making those small goals, those small things that you can do daily? Track those things. That with any goal you have, there are those smaller things that are trackable. For instance, I gave the example earlier of losing weight. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds in 2021. Now, what does it take to lose those pounds? It's not just hoping and wishing and dreaming and making a plan for it. No, you actually are specific on what you are doing. It depends on how you're eating, how you're moving your body. It depends on how much sleep you're getting, how much water you're drinking. All of these small things that add up to a very big change. So you want to write those things down, and daily just check them off. I have a calendar that I created that I put little check boxes on. And so every day when I get my 10,000 steps, I'll check it off. When I do my workout, I'll check it off. When I drink enough water, I'll check it off. And so it's exciting to see all those check marks every single day. And I hate missing a day. And I know that it's not just me that feels that way, but studies have shown that we as people really don't like to break a streak. We don't like to break a chain that we have going. Like in the cartoons, they show a calendar on the wall and they have big red X's every single day. That we don't want to miss a day. We're excited to go ahead and put that X across that day and use that to your advantage, that your brain is literally hyped to put that X on the calendar. So why not make a calendar that's dedicated to your goals and the things that you want to achieve? Now, I want to give you one bonus tip, which has really been helpful to me. When I talked about having that calendar on the wall, the biggest thing you can do, not only just checking those things off, is to make sure that you make that happen by doing what I call cashing out. So it's just like if you're a cashier, you're familiar with the term, you have to cash out your register. You are basically counting the money from the day, making sure it all adds up, and you're turning it into your manager so you can leave. So, it's all passing hands correctly. That's what you want to do each and every day. You want to take time to look at your tracking, look at the things that you've done, and just tally it up. Make sure that you're actually going to that calendar and crossing it off. That I know it seems so simple to have a routine of doing that, but that can be the difference between doing it and not doing it. And looking at that calendar going, man, I didn't put that X up there because I didn't think about taking the time to cash out. I didn't make that plan in my schedule, that 5 minutes, whatever it's going to take in the evening before you go to bed to actually do it. That's going to make the difference between you being a part of the 8% or not. So I really hope that you take all of these things to heart and these goals. I'm really excited to see what goals you have and what you can achieve in 2021. Now, if you haven't already made your plans and you haven't had everything all fixed already, I want to invite you to do a 3-day challenge. It's called the New Year, New Me challenge that I did as a part of my Facebook group. And it's an awesome community of faithful women who are just really working on themselves and living their best life for God. Now, if you fit that description, if you want to join our community, go ahead and follow the link below in the description, and that's going to lead you to our Facebook group. And being a part of that group, you get all sorts of challenges every single month. You get lots of tips and information from me, not just these videos, but so much more. And you'll get access to my New Year, New Me challenge, which is me walking you through step by step how to be able to create these goals in more detail than I just gave here to be able to make sure you achieve your 2021 goals. So I hope to see you there. Have a great day.